Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Freestyle of Monsters at the Beach. If you have not seen part 1, I highly recommend you go watch that, because we had some pretty good and insane runs during that. Anyway, this is part 2, so we have the other 8 trucks that were not in part 1. So, let us get on to our first truck of part 2. Up first for part 2, we have Tonka. This is actually the second recording of Tonka that I did. The first recording I did, the game crashed. Anyway, going up and over the tabletop, starting off their run, up and over the bus, landing right back down. Getting themselves turned around here, going back for the bus, up they go, landing it right back down. Over to the tabletop, up they go. Right up and over the ramp there and hitting the van here that I put up there. Just had a little more, I don't know, pizzazz to the track, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, off to the bus obstacle. Up he goes. Some pretty huge air. And landing it right back down. Up over the van. Turning himself around in the air. Off he goes over to the other van. Up he goes, right back onto the other side. Going back for the tabletop, up he goes, into the middle ramp, nose to the sky, and right over that van. And seems to have been caught on the shipping container, but gets himself free. Goes for the ramp here, up he goes, hitting the van once again. Going for, nope, not going for the van obstacle, turning themselves around. Pretty slippery on the sand, as you can tell, based on what Tonka did there. Bumping off a couple of obstacles. Popping it on 2 wheels, but managing to save the truck. Up over the tabletop, landing it back down, up the center ramp, and landing in one of the racing lanes. And it looks like Tonka's going to be giving us a donut here. Pretty short, but fairly good. Up over the racing lane. Landing it down over the tabletop. Going for the bus. Up they go. Some big air. Nose to the sky, bouncing off the tailgate. Losing pretty much everything on and behind the bed cover there. Just going to run that thing over. Right up and over the bus. Right up over the tabletop, landing on his side, trying to turn himself around, and time is up for Tonka. And it seems like that will be the end of the run here for Tonka. Fairly good start for part 2, but let's see if everyone else has something a little bit better up their sleeve. Up next is Green Machine. Lost to Max D in round 1, so let's see if they can redeem themselves here in Freestyle. Off they go, over to the tabletop, up they go, hitting the center ramp and pulling off a backflip, the second backflip of the day. Maybe this time they'll have a run on par with that of Gravedigger the Legend, maybe even beat them. Up they go over the crush cars, landing it right back down. Over to the bus obstacle, up they go, some huge air. Landing it right back down, popping the nose up to the sky, and they will save it. Oh, and they roll it over once again. Put right back onto all 4 wheels. Off to the van obstacle they go. Up they go. Landing it back down. Going for the other bus obstacle here. Up they go. Some more big air. And landing it right back down. Looks like they're going to go across the center obstacle here. Up they go. And they are now stuck on the van. Can they get themselves free? It doesn't really look like it. I think now they've positioned themselves in a way that they can't get off of it. It looks like they could, but the van's just being really grabby and it's not letting them go. Oh, no, there goes the front wheel. Yeah, I think Green Machine is stuck here. Fairly short, unfortunate run here. Yeah, their run's over. Well, that's rather unfortunate. Well, off to the next truck we go. Up next, we have Ocean Crush. I believe the body of this is based off Del Scorcho, I believe, because the roof mostly. Anyway, off they go, turning off to the side. Going for the tabletop, up they go, landing it down, taking the jump, landing on the van there. Turning themselves into the racing lane. Up they go. Up over the tabletop. Up over the bus. Some pretty good air there. Getting themselves turned around here. Over to the van stacks they go. Up he goes. Some pretty good air off of that. For the tabletop once again, up he goes, lands it in the racing lane, and will come right out of that. Almost hitting the shipping containers, but didn't quite get there. Up over the crushed cars, landing it sideways. Going for the sand mound here, up he goes, some pretty big air there. Lands it right back down. And is going to give us a donut. Hopefully they don't make it in the ocean. Almost did. That was a close one right there. Right up and over the van here. Popping it into a wheelie. Hitting the bus here. Up he goes. Lands it down hard and breaks the wheel. Up over the racing lane and rolling it over. And they roll it over once again. Almost saved it. Can they save it though? Yes, they can. Up over the racing lane. Up over the tabletop. I think both wheels on the left side might be broken. Landing it down. Tumbling along. Landing it right back down. I think he's going to try to use the shipping container to get back onto his wheels. And there he goes. Trying to get himself turned around with those broken wheels. He's just going to be driving backwards for a while. Going forward now that he can. Up over the center obstacle there. Up and over. Yeah, those wheels are not making it easy for Ocean Crush to turn. Up over the sand pile. Time is up. So that would have been Ocean Crush's last obstacle. Yeah, still trying to get themselves turned around, but this truck just doesn't want to. And it seems like that will be the end of their run. Up next we have King Crunch. I believe they made it into the semi-finals. Anyway, here they are. And off they go. Trying not to hit the crushed cars. Looks like they don't want that to be their first obstacle. Instead, it's going to be the racing lane here. Up they go. Getting themselves turned around here. Going for the crushed cars. Up they go. Getting kicked off to the side a little bit. Turning it around once again, going for the other crushed cars. Up they go, landing on the sides of their tires. And gives a little tap to the shipping container there. Up they go, up the center ramp, flipping the van over there. Landing it, bouncing it, rolling it over. And King Crunch will get it right back on all four wheels. Making sure to not touch the wall there, because that'll grab them. Going for the van here. Up they go. Some pretty good air. Landing it back down. Turning themselves around. Not quite going for the other van obstacle, although it does pop them up on 2 wheels, rolling it over, and landing it back onto all their wheels. Up the bus obstacle, landing it down. Going for the van obstacle once again. Up he goes. Lands it on the other side. And attempts to pop it into a wheelie, but doesn't quite get it. And he will save the truck. Going for the other bus here. Up he goes. Kicks it off to the side once again. Lands it on the rear right wheel, and that breaks the wheel's steering. It seems the entirety of his rear steering is gone, actually, because both wheels are wobbling. So he's going to only have front steering. That's definitely going to limit his run here. Off he goes. To the bus. Up he goes. Rolls it over once again. Don't make it into the ocean. That will be bad. Drives it on one wheel and saves the truck. Still a little squirrely with the whole rear suspension just swinging around wildly. Goes up over the tabletop, hits the center obstacle, and will land it right back down on the other side as he rolls it over once again and saves it as time runs out. And it seems that will be the end of the run here for King Crunch. Up next we have High Octane. Got to round 2 in racing, and this is a pretty nice looking truck here, I must say. Very good looking. Off he goes. Looks like he's going for the sand pile here. Up he goes, some big air, landing it right back down. Almost pops it into a wheelie. Up over the tabletop, up over the center ramp, landing it right back down on the racing lane, tumbles around, but will stay on all 4 wheels. Going for the crush cars, up he goes, lands it down, gets a little squirrely, but manages to keep the truck on all 4 wheels and puts it right into a donut. Off he goes once again, up over the tabletop, landing in a racing lane, up and over, down he goes, breaking both front wheels. Trying to get himself turned over, it seems. Those front wheels don't really want to get him to turn over. Keeps trying to flip it back over, but the truck just doesn't want to, and it seems that is the end of the run for High Octane. Fairly short run, but let's see what our next trucks have in store for us today. Here we have Nitro Circus. One of the newer trucks to the mod. It was added fairly recently, not in the main mod pack. That still has yet to be updated, but here it goes. Again, I don't think tires change anything in terms of handling on sand or dirt, considering how smooth Nitro Circus's tires are compared to everyone else. Although I suppose on sand you're, actually, no, never mind. Getting lined up here for the center ramp. Off he goes. Up and over, clipping the back end of that van. And will save the truck. Going over for the bus, up he goes, some big air, and will land it back down. Getting the truck turned around here, going back for the bus, up he goes, right up and over. Hitting the tabletop, landing a little bit sideways. Trying to get himself turned around, but again, sand is way more slippery than dirt. Going over for this bus obstacle, up he goes, some big air from Nitro Circus, and lands it right back down. Up the van he goes, a little bit sideways. Getting the truck turned around, going for the other van stack. Ooh, hits the crush car, and a little bit of deformation happened there. But off they go, up and over they go, hitting that ramp there, spinning the truck around and breaking the rear wheel. Now that's what you would expect to see from Nitro Circus, frankly. Up he goes, nose to the sky, landing it right back down. Up over the sand pit, clipping one of the crush cars, hitting that little sand pile there. Trying to get himself turned around, but that rear wheel certainly is not helping. Over to the bus. Up he goes. Landing it back down and breaking the other rear wheel. And then flips it over onto his roof, and that will end Nitro Circus's run early. Well, it's 2 more trucks to go. Let's see if they can beat any of the other competitors we've had so far. Up next we have Gravedigger. Coming at us a little bit fast there, but they stopped in time. Anyway, lost to round 1 into a big kahuna. Let's see if Gravedigger can join Gravedigger the Legend at the World Finals. Off they go. Kind of showing off, it seems, so far. And come on, don't break the truck before your time even starts. Alright, off he goes. Over to the crush car. Up he goes. Some good air despite the weird geometry of that car. I should have reset it before doing this. Up he goes, up the tabletop, landing it down in one of the racing lanes. Getting himself turned around here. Back up the ramp. Landing it right back down, over the tabletop. Going for the bus here, up he goes, and lands it right back down. Pretty nice and smooth there. And we're gonna get us a digger from, or donut from Gravedigger. Pretty good donut there. Going for the tabletop once again. Up he goes, pretty high rate of speed. Hits the center ramp, and come on, slow it down. Little bit of a tap there to the shipping container. Up the center ramp, clips the van, clips the ramp there of the center ramp. Gets himself turned around pretty good there in the sand. Goes for the bus obstacle, up he goes, some big air. And lands it right back down. And we'll pop it into a walkie. Before they land on their side. Come on, save it. Rolls it over. Come on, you can save this. There we go. Right back on all 4 wheels. Up over the tabletop. Going for the bus once again. Up he goes. Some more big air from Gravedigger. Turning himself around, going for the sand pile here. Up he goes. Lands right on the other side. Back to the tabletop he goes. Hits the center ramp, pops it up, hits the van, rolls it over, loses the front clip, and will save it once again. Going for this thing on the side. This killed Green Machine last time. Almost does a backflip on the van. And will save the truck once again. And time is now up for Gravedigger. Again, anything Gravedigger does now will not count as he pops his rear tire on the wall. Up the little bump there. Up the sand pile, going wild in the air before stopping pretty hard there. And it seems that will be the end of the run here for Gravedigger. How good was it? Well, you're just going to have to vote and find out. And up next, we have Max D. Again, Max D already has a slot in the World Finals, but if they get it here, then I guess we'll have 2 Max Ds at the World Finals. Backing up here, it doesn't look like he's going for this obstacle, so he might just be prepping up for something. We won't start the timer just yet, just in case. Yeah, it looks like he's prepping to stick the wheels into that little gap there. Might be trying to put on the front wheels. Max D's definitely known for that. Forward he goes. Couldn't quite get the grip on sand, it seems, but the time has now started for Max D. Up over the sand pile, rolls it over sideways, losing pretty much everything up in front. Up he goes, up over the bus, landing it right back down. Up over the tabletop, into the center ramp, putting it into the air, landing on the back end of the body, and putting it right back onto all 4 wheels. Going for the crush cars, up he goes, onto the sides of the tires. Back to the sand pile, up he goes, turns sideways, rolls it over once again. Rolls it over backwards, and will grab the front tires on the ground. Pops it over that little jump there, and pops it into a wheelie. Pretty good wheelie there from Max D, up over the tabletop again, hitting that center ramp, going over the van, now getting himself turned around, looks like he's going for the bus. There he goes, some big air from Max D, nose to the skies, he lands it back down hard once again, rolls it over and loses the rest of the body, and pops it into a little bit of a wheelie shortly after. Up over the tabletop, rolls it onto the side, tumbles around. Can he save it? Not quite. And into the wall he goes. Now can he? I don't think. Alright, yeah, I don't think he's getting off the wall here. Yeah, he's not getting off. Well, that is it for Freestyle here at Monsters at the Beach. And as always, we have the Beam Monsters Monster Truck to finish us off here for a little bit of an encore. Anyway, remember to vote in the little Google form. I have a link to that in the description that you can go and vote for which truck you believe won Freestyle. And if that truck wins Freestyle, then they're going to the World Finals. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. So, enjoy this encore from the Beam Monsters Monster Truck.